Right, so hi everyone, welcome to a yin class. So for this class, I thought we're going to work on the fire element. So even though fire tends to be very yang and busy, we're going to work with the element that helps to actually bring balance back to the area in our digestive system. So we're going to be doing postures with the longer holds, being a yin class. And it's going to be directed all around working through this abdominal area. So digestion, also the liver as well. So we'll work on some of the meridians and then also some more twisting postures as well. Because as we twist, it restricts the blood flow to those areas. And then as we release, it allows that blood flow to flow back through, and it can actually help clear blockages and things in the energy by doing that too. So we're going to start off first just in a comfortable seat. So however that's comfortable for you, if you want to sit up on a bolster, anything you like, any way that you are going to be comfortable. We're just going to rest into a breath practice. We're not going to do a fire breath because the fire breath is typically quite stimulating, but we will do a nice relaxing type of breath. So whenever you're ready, starting to close down your eyes and bringing your awareness onto your breath. And just using that connection as an anchor into the moment. So feeling yourself right here, right now, sitting wherever you're seated. Noticing the things that are around you. Noticing if you're inside the walls, the floor, the roof. If you're outside, noticing the plants, the sky, the trees. Just being aware of what it is that's around you. And then bringing your awareness in and being aware of your physical body. Your physical body housing you in this timeline. Being aware of where you're seated. How your legs are positioned. How your hips are feeling. And your torso. Feeling your arms as well. How your arms are resting down. Relaxing those shoulders down away from the neck. Feeling your head just resting on top of your neck, balancing on your shoulders. Just feeling into your sit bones, whether you might be leaning towards one side or the other. Seeing if you can perhaps put those sit bones more evenly in contact with the mat, making any adjustments. If you're not already doing so, starting to lengthen out that breath. Just gently starting to slow it down, drawing it a little deeper. Really feeling into that extra space that's being created all the way through your torso. And then also maybe noticing that extra space that's created in the mind as well. as we connect in with the present, gives our mind a well-deserved break from that focus in the past, the stuff that we can't change, it's already happened. The anxiety of the possibilities in the future. Again, these are only possibilities. We can waste a lot of energy not being present. And so as we bring ourselves into the present moment, there's so much less stuff we need to worry about. And it's that energy of worry that affects our digestion, that can dampen the fires of transformation that occur within the digestion as the food gets transformed into nourishment. And as the worry can put out those fires, it affects our capacity to be able to be nourished. And then from there ends up affecting everything else. Our body needs that nourishment to function. And so just taking the time to be still with that breath helps to reduce the worry and improves digestion. So it improves that transformation. I'm just taking a couple more rounds of breath here. And after your next in-breath, I'm going to follow that out-breath all the way to the very end. And then pause for a few moments, just as long as you can or that's comfortable. And then release and allow that in-breath again. And then exhaling once more. And pause. And so we're just pausing at the end of the exhale. I'm just doing this a few more times. This is another way that helps to rest the nervous system when we pause at the end of the exhale. And releasing and coming back to your normal breath. But for the rest of the practice, if you can, keeping it lengthened, nice and deep and steady. And then if you're not already doing so, coming into an easy cross-legged position, we're going to have that left leg out in front and that right foot behind. So we'll start with that left foot in front. And then we're going to take the left hand behind, take that right arm up to the sky, lengthen up on your in-breath. And then on the out-breath, we're going to twist, keeping tall in the spine and taking the right hand to the outside of that left knee and gently twist. So we're keeping tall and upright in the spine on that in-breath to lengthen, and then gently softening and twisting on that out-breath. Just keeping that breath deep and steady and allowing that softness to come into that posture. I'm not forcing anything, just allowing the time in the posture to allow that fascia to release. And with that release in the fascia or the connective tissue, actually helps to deepen into the shape as well. Now staying connected to that breath. You might even bring your awareness to your abdominal area. Maybe you can feel what that feels like as we're twisting through those organs as well. Bringing awareness to the area helps to bring energy into the area as well. Just a couple more rounds of breath here. Then gently, as you're ready, starting to twist back around to the front. And then still with that left leg in front of the right leg, bringing those hands down into the mat in front, on the floor in front. Maybe starting to walk those hands out in front. So we want to first try and get that movement from the hips, so tilting those hips first, softening down. Going to keep those shoulders away from the ears and always keeping that neck as an extension of the spine, so not cranking it up or cranking it down, just keeping it as an extended length off the spine, so wherever that is, and then coming back to that breath again. Just using that deep, steady breath to help keep that nervous system relaxed. And then from that relaxed space, it allows more of a softness to come through the body as well. And you can soften more into the posture. Just allowing that softness as well to start to come in as you release. Just a couple more rounds of breath here. And then as you're ready, starting to walk those hands back up towards your body, coming back to an upright seat. This time we're going to swap legs. So we're going to pop that right leg this time. The right leg in front of the left leg, and the cross-legged. And then this time popping that right hand behind, left arm up to the sky, lengthening up on that in-breath, and then gently twisting. But we're moving from the torso first as we're twisting this time around to the right. Popping the left hand on the outside of that right knee, gently twisting. So we're keeping tall in the spine. On the in-breath, lengthening and softening on the out-breath. That old saying, the fire in the belly is the energy of the fire element. So it not only transforms the food in the physical, but it also transforms our will into action. So how we get things done in the world is that, as the saying goes, the fire in the belly. And this is all related to the energy around this digestive space as well. So it's digestion of food, also digestion of life as well. How we're able to utilize the resources that we have to be able to create into the world. Just a couple more rounds of breath here. And as you're ready, gently twisting yourself, allowing that blood to flow back through all of those organs. And we're just going to fold forward again, come with the other leg in front. But this time we're going to curl the spine. So we're going to drop that head down, curl through that spine as we come forward. Keeping those breaths nice and deep and steady, allowing that blood flow to move through those organs. Always coming back to that breath. Anchoring yourself in the moment. Notice any tightness or any tension in the hips. Seeing if you can use that breath. Just creating space with that in-breath. And then use that out-breath to release and soften. Just a couple more rounds of breath here. And then as you're ready, starting to walk those hands back up again, coming back up, sit upright. And then so we're just going to take a moment, take those legs out the front, lengthen those legs out, give them a bit of a shake. And we're going to bring them around lay on your belly. That's comfortable for you to do so. And then so now we're going to work the stomach meridian. So the energy of the stomach meridian comes up through the thighs, so through these quadricep muscles. So we're going to first bend that right knee, so the right toes are up to the sky. Then taking that right hand around to the back. Maybe you can catch the toes and gently starting to pull it towards you. So you should feel that starting to stretch your quadriceps or your thigh. If you're quite flexible and that feels easy, push your right hip. So pushing that right hip down into the mat as well will give you that extra length. That space you can maybe grab a bit lower down to the ankle as well. You can also maybe start to take that foot more towards the armpit if you need to get more of a stretch. But if you push that hip bone into the mat, that should give you a little bit of extra length as well. And then just resting the head down as well in one direction. Might take it to the right as well, just so you do the opposite next time. And so that stomach meridian moves up through that thigh. And so that can help stimulate the energy in the stomach and help with that digestion. Just a couple more rounds of breath here. And as you're ready, you can just gently release that leg down. And so we're going to come up into the Sphinx. So keeping that neutral pelvis, so that pubic bone pushed into the mat, we're going to lengthen forward with the chest, rolling those shoulders back and down. Maybe your elbows are out to the side a little bit. But we really want to be coming forward with that heart space, because the stomach meridian comes up the thigh and up through the middle of the stomach as well. And so as we're lengthening forward and up in this posture, it's also stimulating the stomach meridian. And just checking that you've got the shoulders away from the ears as well. So those shoulder blades down the back will help to disengage the tension in the neck. And again, just checking that your neck is as an extension off that spine as well. So that neck's nice and long. Starts to become a little too strong, rather than coming down, just we're moving the elbows out to the sides, because we still want to keep that length up through the stomach area and the length in the spine as well. And just a couple more rounds of breath here. And then as you're ready, you're going to take those elbows out to the sides, lower the chest down, this time looking towards the left, bending that left knee up, toes to the sky, taking the toes in the left hand, starting to gently draw. If you've got a strap, that's another way you might do it. Even if you're up on your arm, that's fine as well. Just wherever that's at, be able to get a stretch through that quad. Again, if you're flexy and that's not doing much, pushing that left hip bone into the mat as well will give you that extra length too. So whether you're up on your arm or whether you can lay down on the mat, drop your head down in the opposite direction. Allow that quad to find that space of lengthening and softening and lengthening. It's actually a nice position you can do standing if you're ever feeling bloated, that when you're standing on one leg, if you're up against a wall, to keep your balance, just lifting that heel up towards your bottom, and then as you push the hip forward, it helps to stretch that muscle, and that will actually help to stimulate the stomach too for your digestion. Just a few more rounds of breath here. And just gently and slowly releasing that toe down. Relaxing, lengthening out both of those legs for a moment. Just letting them soften down into the mat. And popping those hands under the shoulders, pushing yourself up and over. I'm going to do child's pose. So knees together, giving that back a nice stretch, wherever that is. And dropping that head down. The counter pose to the back bends. When we're working with any of these elements, the balance is what's important. So if we have an excess of a particular element as well, then that can cause just as many problems as not having enough. So it's more about creating balance. We're working with the energy systems. So we can think about the issues when there's too much fire in the belly. It becomes that excessive doing and overdoing energy. And that also creates the issues with digestion as well. I'll just take a couple more rounds of breath here. And gently starting to bring yourself back up. And you can come and roll down onto your back. Whichever way you like. You can keep your head up any way that you like. We're going to roll down onto the back. And then hugging the knees into the chest is another good posture for digestion. And so as we hug the knees into the chest, it massages those abdominal organs. So you might like to do a bit of movement with those knees through the belly, one way and then the other. And then resting, holding them both, resting your arms down, holding both of those knees. And making sure that neck's nice and long. And then coming back to that breath again. Might even feel yourself softening, softening down into the mat. And so as you're ready, we're going to keep holding that right knee into the chest. We're going to pop that left foot down on the mat, just feeling how that feels with the knee up. It might be okay to lengthen that leg out, but just see how that feels on your spine. Otherwise, keeping it bent up. And then hugging that right knee into the chest. These are actually also called wind relieving postures. So if you're ever feeling congested and bloated, you can do these postures as well to help get the stuff moving through. A couple more rounds of breath here. And then as you're ready, we're going to release that right hand out to the side along the mat. And then we're going to take that right knee across. So we're bringing in those twists again. So bring that right knee across to the left, keeping that right shoulder down if you can. Again, not forcing anything, just as far as that's okay for you at this moment is perfect. And you can maybe turn the head in the opposite direction as well. Or not, either way is good. Just a couple more rounds of breath here. And gently starting to untwist, keeping that right knee into the chest. And then we're going to bring that left knee into the chest as well. Take a moment lifting up that forehead towards the knee, curling up in a little ball, lengthen out through that spine, and then dropping that head down again, this time popping the right foot down, holding the left knee into the chest. Maybe straightening that left leg, just seeing how that's feeling. Otherwise, keeping it bent and hugging that left knee into the chest this time. We're working both sides of the stomach meridian. Yes, so when we're doing the different postures on both sides, it doesn't just affect the physical, keep the physical in balance, it also keeps the energetics in balance as well, the left and the right, the up and the down, the go and the stop, all the cycles of balance. A couple more breaths here. And then this time we're going to release that left hand out along the floor. Gently bring that left knee then, as you're ready, across to the right. Feeling into how it feels on that side. You might need to make any modifications. If you need, you can also bring the foot forward or you can take the knee down further. No sharp shooting pains. Stretching. Discomfort is good, but those sharp shooting pains we want to avoid. And softening down into this twist. Maybe looking in the opposite direction as well if that's available. And just taking a couple more rounds of breath here. And then as you're ready, gently untwisting again, keeping that left knee into the chest, bringing that right knee into the chest as well, bringing the forehead up towards your knees, curling yourself up, lengthening that spine, and then releasing your legs down and getting ready for your final resting posture. Making yourself comfortable, just bringing your awareness again into that solar plexus area, around that digestion. Just feeling that release, that rebalancing, and all of those nourishing movements. Maybe noticing if there's any other areas of tension or tightness still left. Seeing if you can consciously allow those to soften and relax. Feeling that connection with the earth, stillness, grounding. And as you soften, you might feel yourself become part or one with the earth as you melt down and relax. And I'm just going to leave you here now for as long as you like, taking that opportunity to allow yourself the time that you need to relax. And I'll see you again soon. Namaste.